Open any pub in Australia, mention the name David Boon, and you'll get the same reaction: a smile, a story, and instant respect. To some, he's the bloke with the legendary beer myth. But to real cricket fans, Boon is one of the toughest, most important players Australia has ever produced. Born in Launceston, Tasmania, Boon didn't come from a traditional mainland powerhouse. He came from a small state that had to fight for its place in Australian cricket. Short, stocky, moustached, he didn't look like a modern fitness influencer. He looked like the everyday Aussie battler who somehow found himself opening the batting for his country. And that's exactly why fans loved him. He felt like one of them. When Boon debuted for Australia in the mid-1980s, the team was still recovering from the World Series cricket era and the retirements of greats. Australia needed steel at the top. Between 1984 and 1996, he played 107 tests, scoring 7,422 runs at an average of 43.65 with 21 centuries. At the time, second only to Alan Border for Australia. In one-day cricket, he added another 5,964 ODI runs at 37 across 181 matches. Those aren't just solid numbers. Those are era-defining numbers built on courage and consistency. Boon's style was simple. No fuss, no drama, just time the ball, leave well, and out-tough the bowler. He became the perfect partner for Alan Border's rebuilding project. At his peak, he was Australia's rock at the top order. First in the middle, then opening, steadying innings home and away. In 1987, on the biggest stage, Boon delivered one of the most important knocks in Australian white ball history. In the 1987 World Cup final against England, he scored 75 off 125 balls, setting up Australia's total and winning player of the match as Australia lifted their first ever World Cup. That win didn't just give Australia a trophy. It announced that a new era of Australian dominance was coming, and Boon was right at the heart of it. In Test cricket, he produced some truly epic innings. His career best 200 against New Zealand at the Waka in 1989 came on a fast pitch against a serious attack, the kind of double ton that drains the fight out of the opposition. In 1988, in the bicentennial Test at Sydney, he made a famous 184 not out, rescuing Australia from a dangerous position and showing what it meant to bat for the baggy green. Time after time, especially in the Ashes, Boon walked out when conditions were ugly. Green decks, swinging ball, hostile English crowds, and just quietly did the job. On the 1989 Ashes tour, he piled up 442 runs at an average of 55, setting the tone in a series that relaunched Australian dominance over England. And then, of course, there's the story that turned him into folklore, the 52 beers on the flight to England legend. The tale goes that on the long flight to the 1989 Ashes, Boon broke the team record for beers consumed on a single trip, supposedly polishing off 52 cans before touching down at Heathrow. Teammates have told the story with a grin, describing a quiet, determined Boon working his way through can after can and then calmly walking off the plane straight and steady. Whether the exact number is true or not almost doesn't matter anymore. The myth fits the man. Tough, stubborn, unshakable. Someone who could take anything thrown at him and still stand tall. But focusing only on the beer story does Boon a disservice. His real legacy is what he did for Australian cricket. At the time he retired, he was Australia's 5th highest Test run scorer ever, and only the 2nd Australian after Alan Border to play more than 100 tests. He provided stability at a time when Australia was still learning how to win again. He helped set the culture of grit and resilience that later teams, Waugh, Ponting, Hayden, Langer, would build into a dynasty. Boon's example said, "You don't need to be the most talented. you need to be the most committed. Beyond the runs, there was his fielding and professionalism. At short leg and in the slips, Boon took 99 catches in tests, constantly in the game, always switched on. He was honored with an MBE in 1988 for services to cricket, and later inducted into the Sport Australia Hall of Fame, recognition that he wasn't just a good player, he was an important Australian sporting figure. After retiring, he kept giving back to the game as a selector and ICC match referee, shaping the sport long after he'd faced his last ball. If you want to understand David Boon's impact, think about this. Before him, Tasmania was an outsider in Australian cricket. After him, the idea that a kid from Launceston could become a 100-test legend was no longer crazy. It was proof. He showed that toughness, concentration, and pride in the baggy green could bridge any gap in talent or background. For Aussie fans, Boon represents a golden mix of qualities: the working-class hero, the Ashes warrior, the World Cup winner, and the pub myth, all rolled into one moustached figure at the top of the order. So the next time someone only mentions the 52 beer story, remember this? David Boon wasn't just a drinking legend. He was the backbone of Australia's batting for more than a decade, a 7,400-run Test giant, a World Cup winner, and a key architect of the toughness that defines Australian cricket today. If you're an Aussie fan, drop a comment. What's your favorite David Boon moment? The 1987 World Cup, the 200 at the Waka, or the Ashes hero in '89? And if you think modern cricketers could learn something from Boon's old-school grit, hit like, subscribe, and share this with a mate who still talks about the mustache.